Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Run in the Paint podcast. Boys, how are you doing today?
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
What up? Feeling good.
A lot of
Got a
news to
packed
cover. I'm
episode
excited
today.
for it.
Got a packed
Very
episode.
excited.
Whole lot of news. As we're recording this, the All-Star reserves just got announced, literally minutes before recording. So we all reacted together. We all got a lot of things to talk about. With these reserves, we have some other news. It's been a week since we've recorded because I got sick, so that was a bit unfortunate. But we're back. We're in business.
We're back.
No Jackson today. Jackson fell asleep or something. He
The 2-man episode was great. I mean, I watched most of it and I was able to. I like the clips and stuff that we're doing, and so
yeah, we
definitely
are getting
pay
a lot
attention
of
to
stuff.
that stuff if you're not following the Instagram account. Check that out.
100%. Keeping that up. Putting a bunch of clips. Let us know what you think about it. Listen to us on Spotify. We're getting a lot of feedback that people are liking us that we're on Spotify now. So I'm hype about that.
For sure. Yeah, Jackson, he has done some thumbnails on there. He's done a good job. Nick's gotten us on Spotify. We can officially give him his flowers on podcast now that he's back.
It was very easy. It should have been done a long time ago, if we're being honest.
Well, better late than never. But let's get to these 2024 NBA All-Star reserves. Let's start with the Eastern Conference. I'll just reel off the names real quick.
Just happened.
Reel off the names real quick. So the Eastern Conference reserves, we have Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, Donovan Mitchell of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks, Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat, Julius Randle of the New York Knicks, Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers, and Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic. Oh.
So
I like the All-Stars. I think it's a good group. My first reaction is it's interesting that there's 2 Celtics and there's 2 Knicks on the All-Star team. Like, they rewarded winning. Those are and 2 Bucks. 2 Celtics, 2 Bucks, 2 Knicks.
Yeah. All top seeds you reward winning. It makes sense. Yeah, the whole East as a whole pretty self-explanatory. You could put a couple other names, but none of these guys should have gotten it over anybody else. There's not real blatant snubs. We were talking about it before, but not blatant snubs.
Yeah, I think that this is pretty good. There's not really many big complaints. Like, the big thing that we were just talking about beforehand was Trae Young not making it.
Yeah. That was the one name
he's putting up.
Yeah, he's the one that's like a snub, but that's just because he's putting outrageous numbers. But when you're talking about, you got to reward winning. You got to reward wins. So it makes sense
the
why
coaches.
Exactly.
You guys reminded me it's the coaches who are voting on the reserves.
Yeah, I think the big thing is probably him versus Damian Lillard, because Lillard's starting. Should Lillard be an All-Star this season? He's kind of struggled a little bit. The Bucks, of course, we all know their struggles, but all in all together, I think that's a solid roster for the East.
When it comes to the starters of the reserves, especially with that Dame Lillard, I know we all had kind of a knee-jerk reaction to the All-Star starter and how he got it over Jalen Brunson or Donovan Mitchell. But realistically, Dame was going to make an All-Star appearance anyways. He was going to, if he didn't make the starter, he was probably going to be a reserve.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, it's the coaches who were voting on it, though.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
We were also talking about the injuries and stuff and how there's probably going to be some other reserves. Or Randall is out. I'm happy they gave it to Randall. That's basically a free All-Star pick because he's out. And who do you guys think are the most logical guys to put in, Randall's spot? And now it came out, I don't know if we want to drop the Embiid news, but Embiid sort of is probably going to be out for that game too. He got landed on by Kuminga.
Yeah, we can get into the depths of that later, but it was announced before we got started. Joel Embiid has suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee, so he'll be out for definitely the All-Star game, and who knows how long it'll Probably come out this weekend. They'll make a full decision on his recovery timeline and all that stuff. But as far as replacements, I think that 3 names come to mind when it comes to forward replacements, and that would be Scotty Barnes for the Raptors, making it for his first time. Jared Allen from the Cavs, he's been terrific. He's been, one of the top centers over the past few months. And then Porzingis, he's been great on a Boston Celtics team that's been the best in the league this year.
Yeah. Those
okay,
two guys.
Which
Those
two?
Guys.
Which two get it? Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be 2 spots.
Yeah, which 2? Now that's
because you already got Bam in there, so I think you definitely gave it to Scotty because it's his first year. I think Scotty gets it.
I think Scotty and Allen. But I won't be mad if it's Scotty and KP. As much as I love Jared Allen, Celtics are the best team in the league right now, and they have been from start till now. So you got to reward him. So I'm not going to be upset if Porzingis makes it because he's having a really good year too. But I would pick Scotty and Jared Allen just because Jared Allen, especially recency bias, since January, he's probably been like, besides Embiid and Jokic, he's been the best center in the league.
Yeah, he's definitely been one of the best. Yeah, Scotty's probably the next guy up. He'll probably be the Randall replacement. I would guess that Bam might end up starting the game.
Yeah.
If Embiid is out, or Jaylen Brown, if they consider him a forward, he might start anyways. They actually, the way they do it, I could actually look it up right now, is they give it to the next person who in the voting, in the fan voting for the starter. So I will
Oh, that's interesting. So they don't do it up to the coaches for
I thought you said Adam Silver, didn't you?
Yeah, he decides the replacement for the next guy, but for the player that has to start in place of the guy that comes from the reserves, it will be the player that was next up in the voting. So that would be Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown will probably start the All-Star game. He is tied with Paolo Banchero as far as the total weighted score, but Jaylen Brown won the fan vote, so he's going to end up starting the game. Let's move on to the Western Conference, where there's a little bit more controversy in this conference. So, in the West, we've got Kawhi Leonard from the LA Clippers. Paul George from the LA Clippers. Got to reward that winning. They've been so good as of late. We've got Anthony Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers. Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns. Anthony Edwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. And then Karl Anthony Towns, also from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, this was the main shocker for us, and I'm sure for fans all around the NBA, that Karl Anthony Towns is back in the All-Star game over some other guys in the Western Conference. What do you guys think about this?
Boo!
I'm not happy. I get it, but I'm not happy.
Again, rewarding winning, but
yeah, rewarding winning.
At least it's consistent. Are they rewarding? I was gonna cut you off when you said Anthony Davis. I said rewarding that winning out there in LA.
Yeah. When you look at it, the main snubs that we talked about beforehand were that Sacramento does not get an All-Star. Sure. De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis not in the game, and they're sitting at the 5 seed right now. They've been good like all season long. They don't get any All-Stars, and the Lakers, who are the 9th seed right now and under 500, get 2. Now, I know it's LeBron and Anthony Davis. They've had great individual seasons, but when you just look at it plainly like that, it's kind of crazy that the 5th seed doesn't get any.
You want to look at it like this? The Nuggets were the 2 seed, right, or the 3 seed. They only have 1 as well. They didn't get
Jamal Murray. Yeah, they didn't get it.
But the Lakers did.
You're
right.
When it comes to the winning, they reward it. But when it comes to LA, they get 2. LA gets 2.
Well, yeah, LA is it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. LA. I just thought it'd be an interesting point.
It doesn't matter. As much as I hate it, and probably most fans should hate it, it's LA. They're going to bring in the money. They're the two of the biggest names in the entire NBA. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that they don't deserve to be in the game.
I'm saying they don't deserve it. Sorry.
Somebody has to.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Players have to, some players are going to be snubbed in this, but when you look at Towns' numbers on the season, he's putting up 23 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists per game on incredible efficiency, 52% from the field, 44% from 3. I mean, it's incredible numbers. He's having a great season. But compared to, the Kings players, and it's tough to leave both of those guys off, especially Sabonis, to me, at a guy at that big man position. He's putting up 20, 13, and 8.
The league leading rebounder on a Western Conference playoff team. What else do you have to say?
Yeah. Like,
that's an all-star.
And then you look at De'Aaron Fox as well. Like, he's cooled off a bit from his super hot start to the season, but he's still averaging 27 points per game, 5 assists, shooting 38% from 3 on 8 attempts per game. Like, this is by far the best season of his career.
Yeah, no, one of those guys definitely should have got it, but that's them, or I'll throw out the other name, Al P, for our man Goslin out here. One of those guys, as reward winning all you want, and Cat is having an extremely efficient year and a really good year. You gotta put one of those other guys in. There is so much talent in that. There's so much talent in that Western Conference.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's tough though. It's just so tough. Like, for any of these guys, it's hard to be like, oh, you don't deserve to make the game over another. Like, these are all all-star caliber players. Like, Cat deserves to be an all-star. There are just other guys that, we think may deserve it a little bit more. But all around, I think that the coaches did a solid job. Like, one snub for both teams, I think that's pretty solid.
One I mean, not even a full snub. Like you said, it was probably just the most surprising, like you said.
Yeah, controversy. What you were saying, that's a better way to put it. One controversy for both of these teams for a very difficult thing to decide. Like, I'm not envious of the coaches that have to make this type of decision, because it is tough, man.
Well, don't they just vote?
Yes.
Like, isn't it just like so it's not like one coach is making a decision, it's a aggregate.
Oh yeah, that is probably how they do it. But yeah, before we move on, I want to give a quick shout out to the first time All-Stars as well, because we always spend time at the beginning of the season to predict who's going to be the first time All-Stars for this season. So if I'm not mistaken, they're all from the Eastern Conference, with Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, and Paolo Banchero all making their first All-Star games.
Well deserved.
And going to be Scotty Barnes.
And maybe Scotty Barnes. So yeah. Shout out to those 3 guys for making their first All-Star game. It's definitely big news for all those guys.
Well deserved. All Maxey, especially with Embiid news now, he's gonna have to carry this entire team into the playoffs, and he's been doing great so far. Brunson's been the leader of that team, of the Knicks, and has completely revitalized that team. And Banchero, being a top pick in the draft, is playing like a top pick in the draft.
I will say about Maxey and Brunson is, I mean, they've been 2 of the best guards in the league, and you expect it from Dame, you expect it from Trey, you expect it from Donovan, these other guys in the East, but Jalen and Tyrese just took the East by like absolute control this first half of the year. And I mean, Paolo's in his second year and he's doing something similar, like with the Orlando Magic. So well deserved.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get into the injuries to some of these All-Stars in the Eastern Conference. And let's just start with the biggie, the Joel Embiid injury, the meniscus tear suffered in the Golden State game on
I literally want to throw up just hearing that news.
That is heartbreaking.
Well, first, talking about Embiid with this, we should go back to Saturday night when the Sixers were in Denver to play the Nuggets. I know, Joey, we were super excited for the battle of the MVPs part 2, but it came out about 15 minutes prior to tip-off that he was going to miss the game.
Yeah.
And that stemmed a whole lot of conversations about Embiid's ducking Jokic again. He hasn't played there in 5 seasons.
I honestly think it was more so like someone screwed up because the more I was listening to people talk about it, the more it's like, well, he should have been on the report in the first place.
They did get fined. They did get fined today.
I mean, he's on the report. He's on the report every day, just like every other star. So
who else? There was another team that got fined, but I did see the Sixers did get fined.
Yeah, New Orleans got fined because of Trey Murphy, something like that. A little less significant, but
someone had to have made the decision to be like, no, this is a huge game. Like, we're gonna play him. Like, don't put him on there when he's on there every day. And that was obviously a mistake.
Yeah, but so he then missed the Wednesday game where they play, or not the Wednesday game, the Monday night game where they played against Portland, I believe, and then you go to Tuesday, the Golden State game where he tries to play through it, and from the very beginning, it didn't really look like he was ever 100%. He didn't look that great, on the floor.
No, he's definitely pushing through it.
I heard it was like 14 in the 3 quarters, and that's just not normal. He only had
he should be having 40 through 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of his shot attempts, if I'm not mistaken, were jump shots, just like settling in the mid-range for jump shot attempts. 5 for 18 from the field. He didn't really get a whole lot going. But then late in the fourth quarter, going for a loose ball, Jonathan Kuminga, the Warriors, falls on Embiid's knee, and it comes out today it's a meniscus injury, and he will like I said, they'll check out the timetable this weekend.
What'd you guys think about that play? It was a very strange play.
It was. I think it's just a hustle play that from both of those guys where it's very unfortunate.
You know what my problem with it is like, get up. Embiid is just sitting there like for the 5 seconds it takes Kuminga to fall on him.
Yeah, he was just kind of laying there. Kuminga was kind of in that kind of position.
Kuminga had every right. I mean, I'm more upset to see Embiid hurt than anyone because like he was having a historic like MVP, no question, all-time year. Would have been like their best chance to win the finals because of how well he's playing. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. But Kuminga, what I'm trying to get to is Kuminga had every right to give a second effort and go for the ball. And the fact that Joel is sitting there has no bearing on what he's trying to do. So it's unfortunate that it happened like that. But like, get up is my point. Like, get up and play the game. Play the game.
He was just kind of sitting there. I don't like how there's a lot of like Kendrick Perkins and there's a lot of other players and people coming out today, especially in the media, that are saying that you shouldn't, like with the new rule and how Adam Silver said, you got to play a certain amount of games. Otherwise, you're going to be.
Did we lose Joey?
But sorry.
Oh, there we go. Okay, you were frozen for a second.
My internet's been really bad lately.
So. You're all good.
But
we're powering through.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that like he forced himself and that's why he got hurt. That's not why he got hurt. He got hurt because Kuminga sat on his leg. However, I do get the point a little bit. I just hate that they're making it specifically about this because this was just an unfortunate play.
Yeah, this was a separate play to his other injuries.
Yeah.
I'll make one last point. If he's sitting there and not getting up because he's hurt, then he shouldn't have been out there in the first place. That's what I mean. That's what it comes. That's the truth.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, it's just tough to see. So we'll see how long he's out. Doing some quick Googles here, looking at NBA torn meniscus recovery time, research on the fly. I'm looking at a report from The Athletic when Kawhi Leonard had his meniscus injury last season. And it basically says that if the player decides not to get surgery, they can return in 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But if they do decide to get surgery, that they'll be out for 3 to 6 months. So we'll see what they decide to do. If, I could see Embiid, like you said, Nick, he's having a historic season, and this is definitely the Sixers' best chance to go at the title in a number of years, since probably Jimmy Butler and them were on the Sixers. So you could see a world where he decides to not get surgery until the off season and just go at it the rest of the regular season and then get the surgery in the summer?
It's a hard decision.
It is a
You're
hard
right.
decision.
I mean, there's a world for both ways. You got to really weigh the pros and cons and figure out what's going to be best for the situation you find yourself in.
Yeah, and we'll now know that he probably won't be in the Olympics this summer as well. He was going to be in the running to be the center for Team USA, but he's probably out of the.
No, he's definitely going to be out, regardless if he gets the surgery or not.
If he comes back in 4 weeks and then wins the title, no.
Nah, because then he's going to get the surgery in the offseason. He has to get it eventually.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think this means for the Sixers this season? They've been on a bit of a downfall. They're currently on a 4-game losing streak with Embiid in and out of the lineup, and they've dropped down to the 5th seed right now. But even with their positioning, with the Knicks and Cavs jumping up over them and then being on fire, they're still only 2 games back of the Bucks for the 2nd seed. So what do you guys think of the Sixers for the rest of the season?
Tyrese Maxey show.
No. Pat Bev show.
Pat Bev show.
He's been going crazy since the injuries.
Yes, sir. He's gonna will that team to the playoffs.
They're gonna make they're gonna make the playoffs.
They're obviously, but they're a deep team regardless. I mean, they're gonna be a tough out. I mean, the 2 and 3 seed are definitely up for grabs.
I am curious. Do you think they make a trade? Because I just thought of this. If the Raptors continue to sell, do you think Jakob Poeltl could be traded to the Sixers and they still make a little bit of a run?
Is Poeltl any good?
He's coming back soon. He's coming back, I think, in the next week.
I mean, good, solid starting center. I don't know. I mean, that's what I was thinking too. We've been hearing that they are going to make some sort of trade with most likely some of the pieces that they acquired in the James Harden trade. Most likely just some salary filler depth pieces with maybe some draft picks to try to get another guard. But they could get another big because it's not like they're that, loaded with bigs on the roster because they have Embiid. They have Paul Reed, who's been good in starts this season. And it's in the 10 games that
I think they do. They do
on a 2-way contract, but not gonna do anything for them this year. But Paul Reed, when he started, he's put up 12 points, 7 rebounds per game. He's looked decent, but
if he's getting that, Jakob Poeltl will get you at least like 15 to 20 and like 10 boards and a couple blocks a game.
What would you guys do? Would you make a trade or would you? What I would do is I would put everything just on pause. The thing with not being deep, like you said, is it's kind of just Joel and Tyrese. And Tyrese isn't getting worse. So just press the pause button and hope for the best. Maybe Joel comes back for the playoffs and you can just pick up the scraps.
Yeah, I think they are a deep enough team where I don't think they're going to drop below the 6th seed, so they're not going to have to worry about the play-in tournament, I don't think. But
it could get sticky for them.
It could be very
right now. I agree with you right now.
I think at least with how I think with how deep they are and how Tyrese Maxey is a baller, I think
Tobias Harris too. Tobias can step up.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, man. If I were the Sixers, I would wait to see what the status of Embiid is if he decides to get the surgery or if he decides to keep on playing. Because if he is eventually going to come back, we're going to try to make a deal to try to improve this season. But if not, I mean, there's no point in making a deal to, not really do much this season. But looking in the standings right now, I was mentioning how far they're back of the 2nd seed, but conversely, they do have a nice cushion above the play-in tournament. They're currently 5 games ahead of the number 7 Miami Heat. So they do have a nice cushion there. So they should probably be able to stay in that 5 to 6 range or 7 range, depending on if the Pacers and Heat can go on a run and jump the Sixers.
Yeah, I'm less confident now that I hear it's only 5 games and it's the Heat and
I think that's a big enough cushion.
I mean, the Pacers they have Siakam now, so
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It'll be
a big
tough.
blow.
It'll
Definitely a
be
big
very
blow.
competitive.
the Sixers kind of remind me of the Nets without Embiid a little bit.
Well, they still, let's see. So they still it's still what? Maxey, Melton, Oubre,
It's
Harris, and
just
and
Maxey
Paul
and
Reed.
Harris.
Still, it's still a competent starting five. We'll see how they can handle it. Obviously, they don't stack up talent wise. But I mean, Nick Nurse has been known to be a good coach. He could handle situations like this. So we'll see how they can get past this sort of adversity that they're going to face without Embiid.
Definitely wish a speedy recovery to Joel Embiid though, because this is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. I know he's not one of the most likable players because of how cocky he is, but he is one of the most talented players we have in the league, and having such an insane season.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go to another injury that occurred over the weekend in the Eastern Conference, and this was late in Saturday's game between the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat. Julius Randle dislocated his shoulder near the end of that game, so he will be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, the Knicks have been absolutely rolling since they traded for OG Anunoby at the new year. I believe they have the best record in the league. They've been incredible on both ends of the court, and Randall's been a big part of that offensively. He's had some big games. What do you guys think about the impact that this could have on the Knicks?
Well, there's no question it's going to have a pretty big impact because, I mean, like you said, the Knicks have been winning, and it's been in a large part to him. And that's pretty much the reason he got that All-Star bid, was because the Knicks have been winning, and they went on that amazing stretch in the last month, and they've been playing well with OG and not Pascal. Yeah.
Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah, Precious.
Yeah, he's been good for
them. Yeah, no, it sucks because it's definitely going to impact them, and you don't really know how long with the shoulder.
I think it's time for the Cavs to take the 3 seed, even the 2 seed, possibly. But the Knicks, as soon as he comes back, are going to be vying for that 3 seed again as well. Like it's only a matter of time. I think.
Oh boy, as Joey gets frozen again.
I want to know what he has to say.
I think with Brunson and Anunoby, I think they'll be okay and like still be in that 4th spot. They're not going to drop too far off, I don't think, but they're not going to be as hot as they were in January, obviously.
Yeah, that's probably. I think they'll probably stick around this spot as well. I mean, the top of the East, besides Boston's got the number 1 seed locked up. They're 5 games ahead of number 2, and they have the easiest schedule remaining in the league, which is incredible. So they've got that locked up. But 2 through 5 is definitely up for grabs with the way that the Knicks and the Cavaliers have been jumping up, and the Bucks and Sixers have been strolling downhill a little bit. So
yeah,
they lost last night. They lost last night in Dame's return.
Yeah, they did. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yesterday, Wednesday, was the night of a couple returns. We had Damian Lillard returning to Portland for the first time as a visitor, and that was cool, man. They gave him a minute-long standing ovation in the starting lineup intros. It was just great. It was great. They gave him a great reception, and it was awesome.
DeAndre Ayton had a lot to say.
Yes, sir. He's been going crazy lately.
My favorite part was that Dame had no idea where anything was in the building for the visitors, and he was just lost the whole time.
The behind the scenes was great.
In the tunnel, he was just lost. He was like, I don't know. He's like asking people. He's saying what's up to everybody that works there and stuff.
He was giving hugs to fans on court side and all that kind of stuff. Oh,
you gotta go out there and get the dub, though.
Yeah.
When you're on the best team, and you ask to get, or not one of the best teams, you ask to get moved.
If Anthony Simons outduel you,
Dame had his chances, man. He had that. He had his chances for Dame time, especially on that last possession too. A lot of people are going crazy because Brook Lopez took that 3-point shot instead of passing it back to Damian Lillard. But it's like, dude, it's basketball. I mean, he was open. It's like, it's okay, but I also understand. I also understand too. It is Dame time back in Portland. I mean, it is the moment. Kind of got to read the room.
Yeah,
you do got to read the room.
No game IQ from him.
No game IQ for Brook Lopez, but yeah, the Bucks now 0-2 in the Doc Rivers era, losing to the Denver Nuggets on Monday and now to Portland Wednesday. We'll see how they keep going along here. I'm sure once they get more time, a little bit more practice time with Doc Rivers, they can string some more wins together. We'll see.
And we also had KD's return to Brooklyn. Am I right or am I right?
Yes, we did. He was back in Brooklyn. He had a tribute video for him in the introductions, which he said he didn't want before the game.
That shouldn't have got in the first place. That franchise is just...
Tell us how you really feel, Joey.
That franchise makes no sense. Really.
They fire the best guy who works at ESPN. Controversial. Well, isn't it Bill Marks or Bob Marks? The ESPN's insider.
Oh yeah, wasn't he I think he was something for the Brooklyn Nets.
He was Brooklyn's VP or GM or something.
It was something. He was something in the Brooklyn Nets. Front office. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, in their front office, and he's one of my favorites. So yeah, definitely just a trash fire organization.
Wow.
They should have stayed in New Jersey. Garbage fire.
Going in on the Nets. Oh my goodness.
I mean, they are
terrible. They've never won anything.
They are a trash compactor franchise.
This isn't the first time I've trashed the Nets on this podcast. They're literally probably one of my least favorite friends. Them and Utah are like losers.
Oh dang! You don't like Utah either?
They don't win.
Utah's been a consistent winner, I'd say.
Yeah,
not in championships, but they've been consistent playoff teams.
Yeah, consistently bad.
Oh
consistently bad.
Okay, if you're gonna go in on a Western Conference team, you got to go in on the Kings. I'm sorry.
You have to go in on the Kings and the Timberwolves before the Jazz. Yeah. Not even a question.
All right, let's
not even a question. But let's talk about the Suns though. I mean, the Suns went into Brooklyn, they got the victory, and they've been looking great recently, man. I mean, Devin Booker
has been insane.
He's been a beast lately. He's been having 20-point quarters left and right. He had a stretch where he had a 20-point quarter in 4 straight games, which is unbelievable. He's been dropping 50 pieces, 60 pieces.
That's wild.
And Bradley Beal's been looking more comfortable in Phoenix as that point guard role. Something that is interesting to note with the Suns that has been well documented across the NBA landscape recently is how they statistically are the worst fourth quarter team in basketball because of turning the ball over in the clutch and stuff like that.
Well, I can't wait until it's the Celtics and the Suns in the finals, and it's the lowest scoring fourth quarter in the NBA Finals history.
Dude.
And it's just we only get 3 quarters of basketball for 7 games because the Celtics and the Suns can't score in the fourth.
The Suns are a scary team right now, though. Absolutely scary team. What position in the standings are they? Because I could see them making a run for not a top.
They're just trying to get top 6 right now.
But they can easily make top 6.
They're currently 6th, tied with the Kings at 5. So
yeah, they're gonna move up to 5.
They're there with New Orleans, right?
Yeah, it's the Kings. Kings, Suns, Pelicans, Mavericks, all separated by 2 games. And then talking about the top of the Western Conference, it's gotten interesting with the top of the West. The top 4 spots are separated by 1.5 games. With Minnesota, OKC, the Clippers, and the Nuggets all that's the order right now. But this is something that could change on any given night with the way that all these teams are playing.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited.
Or go ahead.
I think the All-Star break is coming at a really good time because it's going to just be a mad push to the end after that.
These last couple months are going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And with the trade deadline coming up a week from today, that's going to be fun. I didn't even realize how quickly it was coming up. Like when I saw today was February 1st as we're recording this, I'm like, wait, that means the trade deadline's a week away. This is unbelievable.
And we did have a trade today between our co-host's favorite team, which clearly I in my belief benefited our co-host's favorite team, the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, we did have a trade before we got on. We have the Houston Rockets and the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies trading Steven Adams to the Rockets in exchange for Victor Oladipo and 3 second-round picks, 2 in 2024, 1 in 2025. A trade that I think could benefit both sides in their own different ways. With the Rockets, you go ahead, Nick.
This trade was basically 2 guys who aren't playing this year, and Oladipo's, I don't know if he's going to play again. And they just got 3 picks from Memphis or from Houston.
Yeah.
They just got 3 picks, and they got a guy who's going to be a starting level center probably next season.
Well,
we'll see.
That's the thing with Steven Adams. This trade tells me something about the severity of the injury, because I don't think that the Grizzlies would have made this trade if they still believed that Steven Adams could have been a starting caliber center.
Yeah, that's true.
So that makes me worry a little bit about his status for next season. But, him, if he is back and healthy next season, we've heard from Jackson all season that the backup center is a position of need, and if Şengün's backup is, Steven Adams, that's pretty good.
I guess my thing was when I said starting, like Jaren Jackson is on another planet when he's playing next to Steven Adams, because he doesn't have to be the rim protector, and he doesn't have to necessarily run the floor. He can kind of play on the perimeter a little bit more. He can attack closeouts in space, and he gets the ball. Like he does a lot more on the defensive end too, because he's got other help. So I don't know why you would give up such a crucial piece that makes someone else on your roster so much better.
Yeah, this is a good trade for the Rockets. I'm sorry. I think it really is, because if he does come back healthy next year, that's the perfect person to pair up with Şengün. And
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
They got them back together.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, they are back together. Oh my
God.
The Houston Grizzlies.
Oh.
Steven Adams is always a player too that we like. I don't know. For me, I always forget how young he is. He's only 31 years old.
Been in the league for like 20 years.
He's been in the league for a minute. He might not even. Yeah, he's still 30. He'll be 31 by next season when he's back playing. But for the Grizzlies, you get 3 second-round picks, 2 for this season, and you get Oladipo's money off the books, so you have some free salary there to go make some moves to try to get some more pieces to get back into contention into next season. So I think it's a solid deal for both sides. Nothing that's too huge as far as this season, especially. This is essentially nothing for this year. But a deal to, I guess, kick off the trade deadline week now that we're a week until.
I know I said 20 years, sorry, but Steven Adams had been in the league for like at least 10 already, right?
Yeah, he's been in the league.
This would have been his 10th. This season would have been his 10th.
You talk about like even 3 or 4 years ago. This is like a blockbuster trade between these two names.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, for real.
Oladipo for Adams, one of the best starting caliber centers in the league, and one of the most explosive young guys in the league.
These were two at that point, probably like 2018, 2019. These two guys were like all-star caliber, honestly. Yeah. Like if Steven Adams was in the Eastern Conference at that time and not on a loaded West, he could have made an all-star game. Honestly.
I just feel like we haven't seen it from Oladipo in so long.
Dude.
Nah, he's had rough injury luck since since his first year in Indiana. Which is unfortunate there. But moving on, some news from earlier in the week. We have Marc Gasol officially retiring from basketball. He retired from the NBA a few seasons ago, but officially retiring from the game of basketball. Heck of a career for Marc Gasol.
Did he play on that dream team in 08 with the Spanish national with his, or was he too young?
No, he was playing in that. I think he was with that team.
That's so cool.
Definitely might have. Definitely cool. Great career. The Grizzlies are going to retire his number 33 in a couple months at the end of the season. And he was just so good. Former Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star. One
NBA
of the founders
champ.
of the NBA champ.
Well, he was a crucial piece to that Raptors team, man.
Yeah, NBA champ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very crucial.
Great career, legend. Like he's probably. I mean, with how lax Joey's Hall of Fame rules are, he knows how lax the Hall of Fame rules are.
He's a Hall of Famer.
There you go.
He really is. He really is. Especially if you contribute his international, like him playing with Spain and all. He's one of the best Spanish players. Him, his brother, like both of those guys. Pau got in, right? Pau's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Marc's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, for sure, Marc. They're both Hall of Famers.
Just Peyton and Eli, or Marc and Pau?
Ooh. I gotta give it to Marc and Pau just because they were traded for each other, which is kind of hilarious in my opinion.
Amen and Asar.
Okay, hold on.
Gosh, no.
Hold on.
No. We don't need this.
We are not comparing those guys.
Oh man. But yeah, just shout out to Marc Gasol for a heck of a career. Best of wishes in retirement. And
good luck, buddy.
Good luck, buddy.
Enjoy Cancun.
Oh my goodness gracious. But I guess the final real piece of news, something that we've talked about a little bit before when it was first getting talked about, was the NBA draft officially is now expanding to 2 days long for each round, which I know at the time we were like, interesting. I don't know if it's necessary, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I vaguely remember saying that, but I'm definitely, because I'm so against it now. I think it's smart that they do 2 days.
It's for money.
No.
It's for money. That's what it is. That's all it is.
It takes the pressure off a little bit. It gives you more time to make the picks. You get them right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too at that time as well. You get more time to whether make a pick or if you want to make a trade with a team during the draft. It's not like you get a lot of time,
right?
To really get the best trade possible for a draft pick or other players.
You're right. It's not like you have like 2.5 months between the end of the college season to the NBA draft.
No,
it's not like you don't have time. You're 100% right.
No, it's not. It's not like that. No, seriously, it's not like that at all. Like if a player gets selected higher at pick like number 32, and you didn't expect him to go, but you want that player, you now have more time to try to facilitate a trade.
Yeah, you have to react. And you're exactly right. That's a good point.
You definitely have to be able to react because not everything goes as planned.
You got to be able to. It doesn't matter if you get the draft right. You got to get your pick right. And how many GMs have probably woken up the day after the draft, be like, "Shit, I should have done this."
Do you know?
So now they have a whole extra 24.
Do you know how many people these guys actually put on their draft boards? They have the picks planned out so well, and if they don't, they shouldn't be doing that job. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's that simple.
I think they need to be that thorough, and if they're not that thorough already, I think it's strictly for money. I'm still against it.
I think the NBA draft is just as unpredictable as like the March Madness bracket. Like I think it's that hard of a job to really nail your pick because so many guys don't, and like it's a lottery. It's a lottery.
If the NBA did a third round and had the first round on day 1 and then the second and third round on day 2, I would be cool with that. But I think just having one round each day, I don't like that.
I think that obviously it is also for money, but I think it benefits both sides of it too because like you said, Nick, just a couple seasons ago, I think, what was this? The 2022 draft. It was set in stone that Jabari Smith Jr. was going to be the #1 pick in the draft over Paolo Banchero until the morning of the draft. So, like, when stuff like
That's like
that,
when LeBron decided to go to South Beach. He made the decision that morning.
Yeah.
you just never.
That's
Stop.
what he said.
Oh my goodness.
That's what he said.
Oh, but yeah,
That's probably more realistic, Paolo and Jabari. That probably was that morning.
I'm not a fan.
Sorry, Miles. I didn't let you get to your point.
No. You're all good. You're all good. That's really all we've got. I think.
That's great. Clip it.
Oh my gosh, he froze as he's pointing. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go insane.
It's all right. It's like the same.
When I was playing Xbox earlier. Oh. Okay. What about the? Can we talk about what are your opinions on the 3-point contest between Stephen Curry and Sabrina Ionescu?
Right.
I got Steph.
Yeah, Steph. Come on.
I mean,
Come
yeah.
on, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
I think it's great. I think it's personally great, especially for the WNBA, because I'm a big fan of the WNBA. They just started their free agency today, and it's been hectic, absolutely crazy. But Sabrina Ionescu is one of the best players in that league, and widely known throughout the whole NBA fandom too, as well. And even she said, she's like, hey, I'll shoot, because they came out with the rules and how she'll shoot from the WNBA 3-point line. She tweeted out like right away, said, no, I'll shoot from the NBA line. I got this.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'll be great. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for All-Star Weekend, man. Actually, it came out as we're recording that Jalen Brunson is going to be in the 3-point contest.
Ooh.
So that's gonna be fun.
We need to put Sam Merrill in that contest, dude.
We do,
Definitely.
man. We need
Sam Merrill needs
Cleveland
to be
love for Sammy. He's been great this year.
Oh.
But do we have any other news we want to go over?
I don't think so. That was we had a lot of news.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
what time are we at?
The new All-Stars. We're about 47 minutes into recording. We got a lot done in it. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about the All-Star reserve for 2024. Are there any snubs? Are there any crazy things that you didn't expect? Thoughts about?
We'll be back to talk about the Joel injury next episode for sure. That'll be the first thing we discuss.
Yeah, unless
hopefully we get some
crazy
news
trade.
Yeah, hopefully we get some more.
Coming up soon, we will have the Runnin the Paint trade deadline special.
Oh boy,
with a special guest.
With a special guest, that will be a lot of fun. If you guys watch the original Miles and Goggles show,
let's
go!
Shout out.
We'll have a guest on from then back in the day last season.
Clip it.
Oh. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. Check out the Spotify and Instagram. Links will be in the description down below. Follow us on Spotify. Give us those 5-star ratings. We need those numbers.
Like your Uber driver. Like your favorite Uber.
Yes, that's for sure. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.